This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Al Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Yes, you're listening to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. This is the one and only place where we bring you the latest in robotics, artificial intelligence, gadgets, and applications. All that you need to know about what's happening in the tech world, in the UAE and around the world is being brought to you right here on Pulse 95. I hope everyone is having a blessed afternoon. We are officially in fall, autumn. I think yesterday was the last day of summer, Hani. So you can start welcoming the nice breeze of air.
The weather doesn't show me that yet.
Really?
Yeah, I was pretty hot today in the morning.
In the morning, I don't feel it, but at night, the weather has been actually pretty nice. You know, pretty good for walks. The beginning of walks.
I haven't been going out at night, to believe it or not. But you know, you are right, Omnia, because we are seeing a lot of foggy weather lately in the morning. So I do like to believe when it starts to fog up, that means we are getting closer to winter. But Emirati astronauts, Omnia, are getting closer to space.
Yes, indeed, because we just got news that NASA and Emirati astronauts have signed an agreement for long-haul space missions. So we may just be getting future Hazza al-Mansouri and Sultan al-Niyadi from the Emirati youth going to space once again.
Yes, and we're also going to be talking about the Ministry of Health and Prevention to launch Tatmeen Platform, which is to secure healthcare supply chains. That is very interesting. I love it when MOHAP comes out, especially with the recent news of the vaccination being implemented for the frontline workers. And also, the Minister of Health and Prevention actually got that first vaccine as well.
Yes, the minister himself, he actually was able to get it. But coming up on Future Talk as well, we're talking about a very interesting iPhone. The mini iPhone is out, and it's an iPhone 12 mini. Now, it hasn't been out, but rumors about a potential one being in the making are out.
Yes, the rumor does have it that there will be a 5.4-inch iPhone to be called the iPhone 12 mini. Now, I'm very excited to see what the iPhone 12 mini is all about and how big it's going to be and what's the price point on it. Are they now scuffing the XR, X series and bringing out these mini series? Who knows? Apple has a lot of tricks up its sleeve, but we're also going to be talking about iOS 14 privacy and security features that you need to know.
Yes, indeed. iOS 14 is out for the public, not a beta version anymore, and we could all use a little bit more privacy on all of our devices. But coming up on Future Talk, welcome mats, the normal doormat that you have in front of your house, may just need to be changed because we're going to be telling you about a very interesting, innovative one that is ready to protect our homes, one that can disinfect our shoes. What's that all about? Lots and lots is going to be coming up on Future Talk, so keep Pulse 95 locked. We'll be right back.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Unexpected news has hit space, ladies and gentlemen, because NASA is going to train Emirati astronauts for long-haul space missions. Now, NASA and the UAE have been having ties and connections recently, ever since the launch of Hazza al-Mansouri and Sultan Niyadi to space and getting preparation of Hazza al-Mansouri to space. Now,
we can't forget about the Hope probe either.
The Hope probe as well. Now, the UAE has signed an agreement with NASA to train Emirati astronauts for potential missions to the International Space Station, ISS. And I'm very excited to see what it's all about because such missions would include spacewalks and long-haul station missions as well.
Yes, indeed. The UAE astronauts Hazza al-Mansouri and Sultan al-Niyadi have already begun their training at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston earlier this week. And looking at it, it's quite interesting to see how they have earlier trained at the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center in Moscow, back when they were first trying to get themselves prepped for their big mission. But now they're advancing their training with NASA as well. The two astronauts that will also be selected from the second batch of the UAE astronaut program that is going to start by 2021 will also be training with NASA as well.
You know, Omnia, I've been to the Johnson Space Center.
Yeah, as a kid, you told me
Yes,
before.
and I've been to the Kennedy Space Center as well.
So we have a future astronaut sitting.
I am an astronaut, yes.
How honored I am
I remember,
to get to host the show with a future astronaut.
I remember I went on a school bus for, I think it was 8 hours from Miami all the way to the Space Center. And then I believe we took a 3-day off. I think it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we came back Monday morning. We went to Texas, Houston from Florida, and we did see that Space Center. And Johnson Space Center is amazing, by the way, Omnia. I really did like it. And we're going to see soon in the coming weeks or the coming months, 2 more Emirati astronauts will also undergo training at NASA per the agreement. Now, these 2 astronauts are to be selected from the second batch of the UAE astronaut program to join the 2021 NASA astronaut candidate class. Now, Omni and I have been telling you guys to sign up in the beginning of this year.
Yeah, the program was open earlier this year.
And I think after Hazal Mansouri did go to space towards the end of 2019, I think we did hear a couple as well about you could be a future astronaut as well.
Yes, indeed. But this training program will actually be preparing Emirati astronauts physically and psychologically for future space missions. And as a lot of us may not know, actually, space is not glamorous, even though we do romanticize it. There is a lot of training. It's very taxing on the body of the astronauts and on their minds as well. So the training will actually be taking place for about 2.5 years, and it's going to be preparing them for long duration missions to the International Space Station. But after the training is over, every candidate will actually graduate as astronauts with user and operative level experience. So they'll actually be pretty much ready. So if any space mission comes opens up, they can go ahead and hop onto it. Or even if they want to go for space tourism, they'll be perfect candidates for that as well.
And Omnia, if you didn't know, the Johnson Space Center is actually one of the world's largest centers for spaceflight training, research, and mission control, and is a pioneer in human space exploration for more than half of a century. Now, the Johnson Space Center was founded in 1961, by the way, in Houston, and it's actually been the forefront for American human spaceflight programs. So you're getting the best training. These UAE astronauts will be getting the best training that anyone could find right there in the U.S. actually.
Yes, indeed. And it's interesting to see how we have basically, exceeded our limits from advancing on Earth and went ahead to advance in space. This agreement to train Emirati astronauts with NASA will definitely pave the way for closer relations between both countries, and it's going to create a lot of opportunities for all the UAE youth to go ahead and become more involved in the International Space Station. But let's move on to talk a little bit about what's happening right here on Earth with the Ministry of Health and Prevention in terms of advancements in technology.
Yes, the Ministry of Health and Prevention, MOHAP, has announced the development of a new digital platform, which is called Tatmeen, which is a track and trace platform for the country's healthcare sector to fortify and secure healthcare supply chains.
Now, we tend to hear a lot about it in the news, luckily outside the UAE and not in the UAE, about a lot of medications that look like they're original, but in reality they are not. They're counterfeits. And the UAE has had a lot of efforts in terms of trying to put an end to that. This platform is the latest of those efforts. Tatmeen actually is an Arabic word that means giving someone comfort. So it is giving us comfort that whatever medications we are taking are completely legitimate. So this platform will basically be used to sterilize and trace every single medication that is found in any pharmacy from the minute it's produced up until its end use. MOHAP is going to be partnering with a UAE-based digital solution provider so that it can ensure that this platform is ready to use and it's completely safe for all of us.
Yes, the platform will also empower consumers as well to able to verify products at the point of purchase, allowing them to avoid unapproved and counterfeit medicine, just like you said, Omnia. And I believe we were seeing this I think we had an interview with someone a year ago who was talking about the QR codes as well.
Yes. It was actually, I'm not sure, I don't remember the name of the platform, but it was an app that they were creating. But to see something like this on a country level being implemented, and especially whenever we're talking about medications, we do tend to see a lot of expired medications in other countries being used on patients. Lots of, adverse effects impacting them. The latest has been in China,
Yes.
They found out that I think it was expired sanitizers actually caused a lot of bacterial infections in Chinese patients.
I've witnessed expired sanitizers, Omnia, because they smell bad.
Really?
Yeah, they smell horrible, Omnia. They smell horrible. But I'm so proud to see such local improvements, whether it's the space industry or back to Earth, back into the UAE, whether it's our health and care or just in general, medicine. So proud, so happy to see all these local improvements, and I'm excited to see, man. I mean, every day we're seeing more improvements, more excitement, more innovation right here in the UAE.
Absolutely. And having a smart healthcare system in the country will help make all of us feel a lot more comfortable about the medications that we take. It's going to be completely mobilized using different web portals, and we'll be safe and sound.
Yes, Omnia, but we're going to be taking a short break, and when we come back, we're talking about the mini iPhone, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited to get into this and tell you what it's all about. Stay tuned right here only on Pulse 95.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
On September 15, a lot of people were very disappointed that the iPhone 12 was not announced. And we were, kind of trying to keep ourselves patient, thinking that we may get a longer lineup of iPhones with the cheaper version of iPhones also coming out with it. And, with all the different advancements that we got on the September 15 event, from iPads to new Apple Watches, we were kind of, comforted by the fact that it was a little late. But rumor has it that we may be expecting a smaller than usual iPhone alongside the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Now, we do see a kind of a pattern every time new iPhones are going to be released. A lot of leaks do come out, and 99.9% of the time, those leaks are true. Now, an anonymous Twitter leaker, which has tweeted the names of the upcoming iPhone 12 phones. Now, he says that the new iPhone lineup will be called iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro, and iPhone 12 Pro Max. And the iPhone 12 is expected to officially be announced this October. So we got a couple more days left.
I have my own thoughts about the iPhone Mini Pro iPhone 12 Mini, because with the normal iPhone 12, and let's say then the iPhone 12 or the iPhone 12 Pro and then the iPhone 12 Pro Max, the Max always just catches your eye, especially if you're one who's going to be using your phone for watching things or watching movies, even just texting. So having a mini version apart from the iPhone 12, the normal size, I feel like who's going to buy it?
Who's going to buy it? That's a very
Kids?
good question. Not quick. I think people who have small hands, Omnia. Small hands, or don't want to pay too much, because obviously when you have a smaller screen, the price does go down.
I think it's perfect for those who complained about the iPhones being too big to fit into their pockets.
Too big to fit in their pockets, Omnia. And also, it does give that nostalgia of the iPhone 5S as well.
Yeah.
Now, the iPhone 5s in general, the iPhone 5S is the
They
iPhone 6.
were the good old times.
They were, to me, Omnia, they were one of the best, if not the best,
They were.
Apple iPhones. Now, Apple is saying, or the Twitter user does say, that they will come with a smaller notch, so you won't have it kind of eaten by the screen eaten by those notches. And a lot of people were complaining about notches, and we're in 2020. There shouldn't be any notches. Now, the current smallest flagship iPhone is the iPhone 11 Pro, which does go for 5.8 inches. So we're seeing a 0.4 under the normal iPhone 11 Pro. The upcoming 5.4-inch model will be significantly smaller than that one in your hand. Now, the middle-of-the-road model will be the iPhone 12, and it will feature a 6.1-inch display. So we're seeing a big gap between the 5.4 and the 6.1.
So to put them in a lineup for all of you, instead of, pulling up your ruler and measuring 6.7s and 6.5s, it'll basically be the iPhone 12 mini. Next to it is the iPhone 12. Next to it is the iPhone 12 Pro. And then the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So I think the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro will be the exact same size, just like the 11 and the 11 Pro. But the Max will actually be the one bigger in size.
Yes, Sonia. Now, all models are actually believed to be powered by the Apple A14 chip and support 5G cellular networking. So even finally, now even if you're looking at a mini, you might think, oh, maybe I'm getting downgraded stats, but you're not. You're getting the same exact thing, except if you're going for that Pro lineup, which you'll have a stronger phone. But Apple did foreshadow this move by announcing the Apple Watch Series 6 will no longer come with a power adapter, because, Omnia, a lot of people are also saying the iPhone 12 lineup will ship with bundled earbuds or chargers, because they said none of them will.
Yeah, that was definitely one that got a lot of controversy, which is the fact that, you're already paying a hefty price for an iPhone, but to not also get earbuds or even a charger with it, that's a little too much. But, Even though we were all a bit disappointed by the fact that there was no iPhones in the September 15 launch event, we will be expecting a second event in October, first week or second week of October.
Can I give you a speculation why?
What's the speculation?
Why they didn't? Okay,
More
first
sustainability?
of all, no. First of all, okay, let's say because of the pandemic and they did have to push it out a little bit, but because they're releasing so many versions of the iPhone 12, maybe they wanted an event just for the iPhone.
Oh, I thought you were speculating about the chargers. Okay.
No, not the chargers. Let's say because I think that they want to focus on the iPhone this year. Because always when we do have those the September events, it does just give you everything about the new Apple products and their lineup, whether it's watches, phones, or whatever. But now they want to focus on the iPhone 12 because I do believe it may, and a lot of people are believing it may be the best iPhone to date.
Ooh.
Because Omnia, they're cutting off the rounded edges.
Yes, so it's going to be a lot more glass, even more than how much glass we get now with our iPhones.
And Omnia, do you know what I used to love about the iPhone 5s?
What did you love?
The squared edges. Not the rounded. It feels firmer in your hand. You don't remember?
I can't agree with you on that one.
A lot of people say
I remember
Omnia,
the iPhone 5, but it was like too squared. I like the sleek rounded edges.
I feel that squared makes it more sleek.
Hani is trying to rip off his cover for all those
cameraman.
of you. Cameraman.
AI.
Look at me.
So it will have like this. That's me cutting it out.
I still love the design of the iPhone 11 and iPhone 10s.
I like the design. I'm not saying I don't like the design, but
square makes it feel
mind
bulkier.
upgrading. Not bulkier. I mean, it does feel sleeker, but what they're saying is going to be lighter, thinner, and squared.
Now, we all love lighter and thinner phones,
Yes.
even though I feel like the older generation loves heavier phones because they feel like they're a bit more, heavy duty.
And Omnia, the squared is always better because it gives you more grip. It does give you more grip. So instead of having...
The edges are the ones that are squared.
Instead of having
okay.
like
I
that,
see where you're
it's
coming
going to
from.
be straight.
Like cutting edge.
Yes,
Yeah.
like cutting edge. So you have better grip. So I like it. I'm excited for it. I might.
Let us know.
I might cop me one. I don't know. I might.
You always get the most recent ones.
I mean, I do have an 11 Pro. No complaints. Nothing.
Okay.
But when you're an addict like me, when it comes to Apple products, I think the only thing I haven't updated yet is the watch. I am still on my Series 4. But because it does the job.
I just don't see a benefit with the added features unless.
I mean, as long as I got the new updates and everything, I'm good to go. But with the phone looks amazing. It looks amazing. There's a lot of renders on it. It does look fantastic, and I might just get one. Let's see the price point. Maybe I might get a mini.
Ooh, who knows? Let us know.
Might get a mini.
Would you actually go for the iPhone 12 mini if one came out this October? Send in your thoughts at 4215 Door Tisalat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Coming up, we're giving you everything you need to know about iOS 14's latest privacy updates.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
So, Hani has always been a beta user of iOS. So, whenever a new iOS version comes out, he goes ahead and tests it out. Even though with the iOS 14, he was a little bit late, I will say that. Are you proud right now? Because I am happy to tell you that this morning I actually updated my iOS for the iOS 14.
This morning, Omnia?
I don't like to take risks.
Good morning, Omnia. Not this morning. Good morning, Omnia.
I don't like to take risks with the newest versions of iOS because I remember I was one of the first people to update to do the update for the iOS 13, and I got a bunch of bugs on my phone that were way too annoying to deal with. So I've learned my lesson, and I always give every iOS update a little bit of a while before I actually go ahead and
This is why, Omnia, I'm a beta tester.
You're willing to take the risk.
I test the betas of the bugs in betas. That's why when you get your final product, iOS 14, there is no bugs. Please, Omnia, please, when you're talking about iOS 14 or any Apple in general, no shaming.
Have you seen how popular it's been on TikTok?
It's been amazing because
how people are creating TikToks on how to rearrange your widgets.
Yes, Omnia. Now, the selling point of Apple right now, of their iOS 14, is how customizable it is. Now, we've seen Android being able to customize it since the beginning of time. You can always have that freedom when it comes to Samsung or Android in general. But when it comes to Apple,
this is the first time.
You always it was very simplistic. It had 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can make it 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can do whatever you want to it, and people are making it Like, did you have a Tumblr, Omnia, back in 2011, 2012?
No, but I used to see a few.
Yeah, so Omnia, they're kind of relating it to MySpace. I don't know if you...
Oh, yes.
If MySpace... You know, Omnia, when you go to someone's page, there's like music and stuff, and there's like
every page
glitter.
is different from the other one, and you
Exactly.
can put your own touch on it. The interesting thing, though, I can't imagine what TikTok founders are feeling like right now, what ByteDance is going through, looking at a rival company becoming so popular on TikTok. Every TikToker out there has been posting videos on how to make your very own DIY widget, DIY home screen with different colors. You see yellow, you see green. What's bad? What's worse?
My dad's into it too.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, but it's not like colors and stuff. He has it as for his needs and necessities and
I
wants.
like that.
Yeah, I'm like. So my dad comes out to me yesterday. He's like, "Kind of come to my room." I'm like, "What's up, Dad?" He's like, "Shuf, look." And he shows me his home screen. I'm like, "What? It looks nicer than mine." I haven't played with my home screen yet.
I haven't played with my home screen yet.
And he has his calendar, his meetings, his appointments, his email, all in the front. He's like, "See, I only have one page on my iPhone."
So everything is just organized in little folders.
I'll show Omnia, and she can explain it to you guys. So you have right here, let's say, for example, page number 1.
Yeah.
Or page number 1 is right here. So
you have the grid as well.
Yeah. So that's my dad. So that's how my dad will have it. He'll have like his calendar, his meetings, everything. And then you just have it like that.
Ooh,
You see, it's just 2 pages. App library, and he hides a lot of apps. He's like, "Hey, did you know you can hide apps now?" I'm like, "Yeah, Bob." He's like, "Look, I hid all these apps. My phone looks clean." He's like, "I love iOS 14. I love the ECG. I love Apple." So this year, ladies and gentlemen, Apple has won the heart of my dad.
Quite literally. But you know what Apple has done this year as well with their newest iOS 14 update? They've also enhanced privacy and security. And actually, I'm happy to report that the minute I updated my iOS 14, I got a notification that Google Maps has been using my location and updating it every 15 minutes, even when I'm not on the app. Which explains why every time I leave work, I get a notification about how long it's going to take me to get home. So...
Sabah al khair.
Billah.
Good morning, Omnia, because that's what's been happening. Google Maps does always track you, so does Apple Maps, and we did have that option. We allowed that option when we first downloaded the app. But now, Omnia, I think you downloaded this morning. You haven't had that time to get into
play around with it. But I've seen people play around with it, so I can tell you for sure it's definitely a lot safer for everyone.
Not even that, Omnia. Let's say if you want to upload something from Instagram. From your camera is going to ask you, would you like
permission all the time?
All photos, or just a selected photo?
True.
So it does give you that peace of mind, and it does let you know when your camera's on, when your mic is on, whenever you'll have that knowledge 24/7, which does bring a lot of people peace of mind.
Absolutely. But another part that has been quite interesting with the latest iOS 14 update is the ability for this update to actually sniff out bad passwords. So Apple has been able to sync the passwords and other login credentials for your various accounts across all of your Apple hardware through iCloud for quite some time now. But this is going to be a little bit different because Apple has stored in the cloud from your iPhone all of your passwords. So you can go ahead, choose passwords from your settings, and you will get basically what looks like a password monitoring system. So this is going to alert you if any of your credentials are spotted in a data breach. So this means if any of your accounts, God forbid, were to be breached or compromised, you will be notified. But you'll also get better suggestions on how to make your password stronger, because on the password screen in your settings, you can go ahead and click on the security recommendations, where the iOS will actually let you know if any of your passwords are problematic. So you can no longer use passwords of like 123, 321. I don't know, your birthday.
Yes. Amna, did you know that it can also put its own password for you?
Ooh, that's a nice one.
So let's say, for example...
But how complicated is the password?
It's random numbers. Random numbers and hashes.
Will it remember it for me?
See, good question. So what you'll be doing, Omnia, is let's say you have that for one of your apps or one of your emails, whatever.
Yeah.
So
associate it with face?
It's going to first read your facial ID. Once it confirms that it's you, whether you enter your password, your passcode, which would be like 1, 2, 3, 4 for your phone, for example.
Yeah, your phone passcode.
Your phone passcode, or it's going to see your facial ID and recognize that it's you. It's then going to input that hash password. So the passwords, Omnia, are crazy. It's like
so it's like
J42689 E capital lowercase minus dash. It goes crazy on
So
me.
it's like two-factor
Encrypted.
authentication without you having to remember any password.
All you have to do is remember your face.
Dream come true. You don't even have to remember your face. It'll remember.
That's the joke, Omnia. You're catching on. You're
But-
catching on, Omnia. I like that.
The best part about it as well of this iOS update is it's also discouraging Wi-Fi tracking. So a lot of us know about the risk that we take whenever we log into public Wi-Fi. But one small change that has been happening is the fact that you can use a private address feature whenever you get a new Wi-Fi option on your menu. So you can go ahead and tap the blue info button that is found on the right of any network that you're connected to and get much more details about how this network is going to be using your data.
Yes, Omnia. Now, I love what Apple is doing. Apple is winning my heart, wins the heart of many. And I'm excited to see it in this coming week when Omnia starts getting more diving into iOS 14 more and seeing what the features are available. She's going to tell us, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to be like, hey, Anna, did you know you could do this
I'm
and
obsessed.
that? And she'll like it. I mean, it does take a little bit of time. I knew one person who spent 8 hours customizing
Oh, God.
their widgets and customizing their home screen. I mean, it is fun.
New way
If
to
you-
procrastinate life.
I mean, it is fun if you don't got anything better to use. I mean, I have to delete a lot of things off my phone now because I had a couple of apps that weren't apps, so I could fix my layout. But Omnia, see, Apple already had this feature a long time ago.
Which feature?
Great question. The customization, which was Omnia. With the jailbreak, with Cydia, things like this. And the jailbreak community has always been pushing Apple, hey, Apple, if you don't want us to jailbreak, you're going to have to give us our customization. And Apple, slowly but surely, they are catching up with the trends. And I'm excited to see. Text us in at 4215. Let us know, have you customized your home screen yet? And if you didn't, what are you waiting for? We're taking a short break, but when we come back, we're going to give you a new welcome to your home.
Gadget of the day.
New tech you might want to play with.
Pulse 95.
Have you ever thought about the number of germs that we bring with us into our homes simply by taking our shoes that we were wearing while being outside into our houses? And did you ever think about how well does a doormat do its job? Because I was quite shocked to find out that it doesn't do the job pretty well. And we actually asked all of you on Instagram at Pulse 95 Radio about whether or not you would actually use a doormat that can disinfect shoes. And the great majority of you actually answered yes.
Yes, Omnia. Now, I like this doormat. You know why?
Why?
Because it disinfects and keeps your shoes crispy clean.
Crispy clean. You were the type of person, COVID-19,
yes,
to not
I used,
take.
I used to take off my shoes outside of the house. Do you do that, Omnia, in general? A lot of people, so a lot of cultures actually, Omnia,
Yeah.
they keep the shoes outside of the house. They would never put them in.
I think the Japanese, the Chinese,
Indian
even
as well.
Arabs.
Some-
In the Majlis Al-Arabi, they used to not wear the shoes inside.
Yeah, even the Indian culture. I have a couple of
Yeah.
Indian neighbors, Omnia. They'll keep everything outside. Now, even they have like their shelves and everything outside.
I have Chinese neighbors that do the exact same
Chinese
thing.
neighbors.
Yeah, they
Wow.
do the exact same thing.
So are you the type of person to walk? I don't walk into my house with my shoes. I'll leave them by the door. So I'll go inside and put them by the door.
Same. So I actually have a dedicated area for them, so they're not going to go inside
like a
the house.
what do they call it? Like a shoe cabinet?
Shoe rack, shoe cabinet, you name it. Both
Yeah.
work. But the first doormat that actually does what it should do is called the welcome mat. And it's quite interesting because you disinfect your shoes basically by dancing salsa.
I love to dance.
You love to dance.
Yeah, me and Mikhail out there from Afternoon Karak might go and dance on these mats. But so what do they do is that it disinfects, it removes, and it absorbs. So it will disinfect shoes, remove the dirt, and absorb the moist. And then after that, you have another panel that will dry it off.
Yes, indeed. And the best part about it is it was actually created right here in the UAE. So 3 UAE residents came up with this very innovative idea of creating the welcome mat. It was a father with his daughter alongside his friend Bassam and Abdulaziz are the ones who created this welcome mat. And the best part about it is, as you mentioned, Hani, it has multiple parts to it, so you can actually clean the mat itself after you're done using it. So it comes with 2 side panels. One of them is placed right in the center, and the other two that are found on the sides are the ones that will be soaked with the disinfectant solution. So all you have to do is add any disinfectant to half a liter of water, pour it on the mat, you soak, dry every foot or every pair of shoes, and you got it. Clean shoes.
So, Omnia, I want to ask you a question. How many bacteria or viruses or parasites do you think that are on the bottom of your shoe?
I love those shocking
No
statistics. I'm not going to cheat. Shocking statistics. In percentage? Stop ticking.
The clock is clicking.
The clock
is ticking, Omnia.
In percentage, I think
Let's just go random number.
300 microbes.
You're cute, Omnia, because 421,000.
I was close. 1,000?
1,000 bacteria, viruses, and parasites.
Thousands.
The average shoe, we're talking about average shoe could carry. It's such shocking data, Omnia, especially with the widespread of COVID-19. It did motivate these creators to create the welcome mat. And some shocking fun fact that while the whole world was on lockdown, Omnia, and traveling was super hard, the creators of this mat, Omnia, went to 3 different countries during lockdown.
So they were creating it in 3 different countries.
3 different countries, getting all the information, all the statistics, all the products and resources needed to create this mat before they launched it right here in the UAE.
It's amazing because it's crazy to see how many creative ideas people have come out of during
Do
lockdown.
I have to say it?
What?
When life gives you lemons, Omnia, you gotta make lemonade. That's my motto until COVID-19 is done.
Well, even after COVID-19, there's still going to be lemon and lemonade to be made.
Yes, exactly. With every bad or good situation, you gotta get the best out of it. And we do see with that welcome mat, a good situation was made out of it.
Yes, indeed. And it is one of the first doormats that can clean and disinfect shoes. So let us know, would you actually go ahead and purchase it yourself? Or have you created your little at-home routine on what to do whenever you enter your house? I've been seeing a lot of my close friends actually have like mini sanitization baskets with face masks, sanitizers, things that you can just pick up right before you leave and drop off after you come home.
You know, Omnia, I do believe that there was this product, I think I saw it on Instagram, where you would have like 2 foot holders. You would put your foot inside of it and it'd have like a ceramic wrap or a wrap on it.
Oh, I've seen it. So it would actually like wrap up your shoes.
Yeah, it would wrap up your shoes, and some of them also would disinfect. Now, Omnia, during the pandemic, no, we're still in the pandemic, during lockdown, we did bring a bright mind, a young mind who
Fatima Al-Ka'bi,
who created her own sanitization station. And then within the coming weeks, not even months, weeks, we saw a lot of people creating their own and a lot of companies creating those sanitization stations.
Because it was made out of very inexpensive material. I think the entire gate was done by a budget of under 500 dirhams. So if you want to check out how she did it, you should go ahead and listen to our podcast, Future Talk 95, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcast. But Future Talk is coming to an end.
Yes, we're jumping on that spaceship, going all the way to the ISS, the International Space Station.
The heart of Sharjah.
This is Pulse 95.
Heart of Sharjah.